Let's go, Westy. Good boy.
What's he doing, Drew?
He's walking towards you. Oop, stay on the footpath. Stop and turn. Good boy, Westy. Focus. He's such a dribbler. Don't walk over me. Yeah, stop.
I'm Martine Abel-Williamson. Although I live in New Zealand now, I was born in Namibia and then grew up most of my early life in South Africa.
I'm Gary Williamson, and I've been living in New Zealand all my life.
Weston, my third guide dog, is a bit of a problem child. And I mean it in the most positive way. You know, he is a sensitive soul and he loves familiar environments. Greg is a bit lazy, or shall we say, on camera relaxed. And Greg doesn't mind if he doesn't work every day. Let's go home, boy. Let's go. You follow Greggy and Gary. Gary, is any of that washing mine?
The dry stuff?
Yeah.
No, just a couple of shirts and socks.
Gary and I want to live, and we are living, a totally independent lifestyle. We got married in 2008, but we were really together from fairly early in 2000.
Now, you two are going to behave perfectly as I bring your food through, aren't you?
How much money do you want to bet on that?
I've got to feed the dogs. That's actually the first thing I have to do. They will just follow me around until I do. So they run the morning routine. Sit. Wait. No, wait.
Do you want me to get anything out of the freezer for the smoothie so far?
You can get the frozen.
Frozen, is it the big...
Second shelf, left-hand side, I think it is.
Oh, yep. We're forced to be quite organised, really, because otherwise we'll never know where to find things.
Is this a new bag or is it already open, Gary?
I think there is one already open, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll just first check in case I open a new one. Oh no, I think this is open.
So it's just going to be milk, blueberries and bananas?
Oh yes. How many bananas do you put in there?
This milk's gone off. Wow. That was a bit of a shocker. That throws that theory out the window. As I was growing up as a child, I had a peripheral vision, but it was perfect, like a perfect tunnel. So over time, the tunnel shrank. I'd had a feeling for some time there was something wrong with my eyes. And when I got diagnosed, I didn't take it very well. It took me quite some time to get my head around it and actually start to think about moving forward. My vision at the moment is basically light and dark. I can pick up the occasional shadow depending on the lighting, but my vision really doesn't assist me at all with my mobility. Hey, how are you? Can I have a 2-litre milk, please?
See you, Gary.
Catch you later. Enjoy your day. Yeah. For quite a significant amount of time, I was not willing to accept my vision was deteriorating. I was still driving my car up until the early 30s, and I realised now that was quite foolish.
We can be so glad you didn't just had a major accident.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Have you already put the liquid in or no?
Wow, you've never been so helpful before.
I'm always helpful.
So this is a kitchen.
And I'm going to wipe my wet hands on you if you talk.
This is a new environment. These are
New
dishes.
environment.
You mightn't have seen this before.
No, I haven't, but I felt it before. I have light perception. When it's really sunny, I can see the sun, but otherwise I can't see anything. But I've got a good visual memory.
Lovely.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, okay, have you already put some stuff in?
Up to 20 years ago, I had colour vision.
Hang on, will you
Yep,
make
I will
sure?
sort it with
If something tells me what colour something is, I hopefully still got a good visual memory of what it looks like.
Stretchy pants.
Okay, is that all to be hung up?
Yeah, that's all.
I'll grab the coat hangers. Martine's got a lot of patience, and she continues to amaze me with the amount of things that she prepares to get involved with.
I studied psychology, majoring in psychology and criminology.
Alrighty.
Then I did my honours in psychology. I had more than one lecturer challenging me how I'd be able to do counselling or be a psychologist because I don't make eye contact. I was very angry because I would not have been the first blind psychologist in the world, right? It's just a mindset that people had. For the last 11 years, I worked for Auckland Council. I helped Auckland to draft its disability action plan, and at the moment I'm on working panels for ACC, the Health Quality and Safety Commission. I do work for them in the area of health co-design. New Zealand's example led the way for an international policy on the safe design of sheet spaces. So I drafted that policy and it's worldwide accepted now. My niece will be turning up soon for us to visit my mum.
It's that is, isn't it? Oi. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Oops, come on in. Look at all the bloody dogs are run me over.
My niece is Estelle. She's named after my mum. Every now and then we do call on family members or friends to help us with something.
Martine does a lot independently. She never really needed much help from us.
No one wants to fix. There we go. Okay, thank you.
My mum is in a rest home very near from here. She used to live on her own, and then suddenly we realised she became forgetful. My mum was the person who believed in me right from the start.
Oh, so it's a pull gate, so we just have to go a little bit further back. I thought it was a pull.
She always gave the impression I can become whatever I want to.
She is just so happy here.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
She's now been diagnosed with type 2 dementia. She still recognises us, but out of sight, out of mind.
Hello.
When I was diagnosed as being blind at the age of 5, there was no opportunity for inclusive or mainstream schooling for blind children. Most of us got sent to special schools. You will learn Braille together, you'll learn how to walk with a cane, you'll learn your daily skills, and that's the way it is. And I think that was very hard for my mum to send me 2,000 kilometres away from home.
For the first 2 years of my school life, she sent me cassettes on tape so that I can read the letters privately with my tape recorder. And then from the age of 7, when I could then read a little bit more, start to read and write, she taught herself Braille, bought a Braille machine and wrote me letters. So you always made sure that I, can read myself the letters you've sent me. And not everybody's parents did that, or maybe could do that, but you always said, you want me to read my own letters.
I was quite proud. How do you say?
Private?
Pride. No,
proud.
Yes. That I could do it for her.
Yep. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
What is pink? Which bits are pink?
Yeah.
It does smell nice.
We'll find out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. So that's what you like nowadays?
To show you.
Yes.
Okay, just stand here.
Yep, I stand here.
Bend down.
Yep.
Feel there. Feel.
Oh, what is it?
It's the hole.
Really?
Oh, yes.
When did you notice this?
Yesterday.
Did you tell them?
No, not as yet.
Maybe they put a sprinkler system or something in. Gate or say goodbye here.
I say goodbye here.
Okay.
And darkened.
See you.
Okay.
Talk soon.
Okay.
Martine's
And
coming
don't
next
forget me.
I'll never forget you.
See you.
I would say Gary is the main cook, but I usually suggest we cook for people, and then Gary goes, I don't know what it will look like. And I would say, doesn't matter, it's what it would taste like. Okay, Google, do you have a recipe for Alfredo pasta?
I've got a recipe called the best homemade Alfredo sauce ever. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Great, let's get started.
Gary and I love entertaining from home.
The first ingredient is 1/2 cup butter.
Not that we don't like going out, but often going out is so much more planning. You know, you can't just jump in a car and pop in and see if someone might be around.
Second step, cook over medium heat and whisk until melted.
We're going to have friends over tonight, and it's just a couple that we really have a great time with. We forgot we didn't have bacon, so we're going to slice up some of our favourite cheesy frankfurters, add some mushroom and Alfredo sauce to it, put a bit of blue cheese to it, and go from there.
Try not to cut my fingers, eh?
Okay, Google, set timer for 6 minutes. With all the current cooking shows, you got to drizzle this and reduce that and simmer that, and you know. So we don't do a lot of chef cooking, as if to say, but we do a lot of meal preparation.
I'm still waiting for all the cooking shows that Martine watches, for those skills to be transferred into our kitchen.
Oh, you'll see it tonight.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Even though you'll be doing the work.
That's right.
Okay, Google, stop timer.
Right, shall we have a drink?
Yeah, I think we need one by now.
Yeah, that's cool. What do you want, La?
I'll have a little.
You going to have some sparkling too?
Also, oh yeah.
There you go, mate.
And some. There.
Is that a red or a white there, Lara?
I'm putting them on right now.
Okay.
Who's going to get it first?
The, what do you call, when the alarm stops and what have you?
This is you.
You're on Martine's right.
Yes, cheers.
Oh, that sun's still nice.
Yes.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Hopefully we get a few more days for summer.
Yeah.
Coming Martine. Gary,
And I'll
coming
miss
you.
everyone as always.
Do you want?
Coming.
Yeah.
Got it. You always still want to have a clink?
I thought I had one.
Yeah,
well,
that's what I
it'll,
thought.
It'll do.
How was Fiji?
Hot.
People often ask me, how do I distinguish colours or know what colour I'm wearing? So I've got this clever gadget called a colour test. And when in doubt, especially where the clothes that I try to, where I can't remember what colour something is, so just grab this, see what it says.
Very dark orange.
Oh, cool. Really dark orange. So it feels a bit vibrant, so why not wear that with something today? Up into in my 20s, I could distinguish colour. I could, for instance, hold something up quite close and think, oh, well, this is a brown or green. And if I hold it like that, I could see the difference. But I then developed glaucoma in my 20s and it wasn't picked up on, so now I can't see colours at all. I now buy things that feel different. So all of these bags, none of them feel the same. And now it's more on memory. I've got my sort of darkish brown bag. The soft one is black. This hard sort of one at the back is dark blue. And this is a green one. This one, this lovely bag here is from Turkey and it's more different colours. So I either try to remember that I can wear this with anything or
So sometimes if I buy something that's multicolored, it's sort of a safe way to go. But then it's more about the touch, the texture of it, or where it comes from. Okay, Google, what's the time?
It's 8:34.
How long will it take to travel from Manurewa in Auckland to the Auckland airport?
I can't find the right place. You might want to try finding it on Google Maps.
I've always been a bit competitive and a bit driven. I realised that I don't just want to be a mediocre, I want to be good at something. I don't want to be middle of the road. Like at school, I was never an excellent musician, but when I practiced, I could be good. But I had to practice harder than the people that had it as a natural, can play by ear or so. I had to read the music and study it and play. And I was always a bit of a perfectionist. Blue, black, okay. So I'm going to pack these. I travel to Wellington about once a week for a couple of days, and about 5 times a year I travel overseas. Okay, now, when you usually get these in the hotel, they're like $70,000, but so if I get hungry, I've got my own little snacks.
Very dark purple.
It's not purple.
Dark brown.
It's not brown either.
Very dark brown.
Anyway, it's maroon, isn't it? Anyway, so my mum's helped me to label all my jewellery as in the same necklace, the same earrings, the same ring. So how I remember when I wear this top and pants, what I should wear. This one says in Braille, burgundy or maroon. So, oops. And my mum also told me that it's, because the necklace have got more a goldy sheen in it, that I should wear something like a bracelet that's got not just silver or gold. I've got a Russian wedding ring. Oh, shit. Just dropped that. I better not forget to put my wedding rings on. Most of my rings are in this container there. Okay, Google, what is the weather like today in Wellington, New Zealand?
Today in Wellington, it'll be cloudy with a forecast high of 16 and a low of 12.
Off you go.
I feel incredibly proud of Martine. I often think maybe she's doing so much or too much, but she's happy with what she does. She seems to have a huge capacity to do all this work. Okay. Closing the door now. Enjoy it. I'll talk to you later, eh? Thanks, Kim. I'm actually really happy with the balance. I'm very much more relaxed, more of a homebody. So I actually really enjoy the part that Martine goes out and does all that she does, and I'm just happy to support her in whatever way I can. There's so much that can be done, and there's a lot of time that we can waste if we don't actually have goals or directions or a purpose to do things.
There is the added strain or awareness that I always have to have around going into an unfamiliar environment, How is the environmental access? My dog needs to get to know new destinations. Always having to have that almost active concentration and awareness instead of just relaxing and letting things happen, because that's when you may get lost or you may not pick up on something that you should have.
All I know is that as other hosts improve what they provide, they make themselves more attractive to people.
It's only been over the last decade that disabled people had the opportunity to influence the services we receive and to have a say in the planning and design of it. What's happening about employment services, as in not the employment hub, but people wanting help to become job ready or study or look for a job.
The prototype, cabinet did agree that some funding from MSD would transfer.
What are you sneezing at? Come on, find a way. Some days I'm literally just going from one organisation to another. Heading the right way? Yes? Come on. I realised I wanted to get into advocacy when I filled in part-time for vocational placement advisor at the Blind Foundation.
Getting back Friday morning. Excellent.
I went from doing basic counselling to trying to help people to find jobs. The factor that stands in most people's way is expectations by society. And you end up having low expectations of yourself. It's almost like gradually breaking someone's spirit. People won't realise their potential because they won't even realise that they do have potential.
A lot of times I find that some of the meetings a little bit frustrating because there seems to be a lot of talk, but Martine really works well in that environment and just loves getting things done. Straight on.
If I travel and I ring him, what have you been doing? Oh, just bits and pieces. Where are you now? In front of the TV, doing dishes or ordering dog food because I don't keep track of when the dog food runs out.
Come on.
Yeah, I think it's quite a good balance.
Ever since I became a Blind Foundation member, I started playing sports. So played blind cricket. I do now, I still play a little bit of cricket now and again. I certainly play in the national sort of tournaments as they come around because they're still a lot of fun.
Tommy, when you're ready. Foot to your left, foot to your right. There you go, when you're ready. Tommy!
Yeah, mate. I did bring out a bat, eh? This could be a long day.
I can have up to 5 or 6 appointments a day. So Skype calls, general email exchanges. I'm often just sitting at night doing a lot of that. A lot of the accessibility work that I do is on behalf of the World Blind Union. The World Blind Union has got about 190 countries signed up to it. So it's a very powerful collective entity if we put our mind to it. I really love it. Every time I have an opportunity to advocate for something or to campaign for change or to question why something's happening a specific way, it is really empowering. Winning the Making a Difference Attitude Award and then the Supreme Award, it really took me by surprise.
In our eyes, there are no disabilities here. There is only attitude.
And the winner of the Attitude ACC Supreme Award is Martine Abel-Williamson.
I think as a child I always thought I'll grow up and become something. I never thought that I'm going to have such outward-facing opportunities to influence things around me. I've super outlived my expectations of myself. Instead of just making sure I lead an independent, dignified life, I can now support others to do that. And it's just onward and upward, hopefully. I can't see it ending soon.
Be strong.
This is really surreal. Firstly, I want to thank the sponsors Ministry of Health and Attitude Trust and everybody. And I must say, with all my travels, my husband, who's here tonight, has been asking me, when can he have an appointment with me? And I said, thanks to Sky City, you have a night with me tonight in the Sky City Hotel. I'm part of a lot of organisations, so although I stand here with a trophy that I still need to figure out what it is, most of my work is part of organisations, so the results of what I'm doing is really the results of collective effort. Thank you, everybody.